You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7. Colder temperatures are here. We're going to give you some tips on how to stay safe in the cold.
And later, several international students at Pitt State enjoyed their first snow. Fernanda Silva will share their thoughts.
And it is cold to start our Wednesday, but believe it or not, we're going to be a little bit warmer today. We're going to talk about that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 7 a.m. on this Wednesday morning, we got snow yesterday.
We did. That kind of threw a wrench in things, did it not?
Some folks got a little more snow than others, but all of us got in on some snow action yesterday.
It was exciting.
It was, and with that being said, well, it looks like we're going to talk more about that winter weather, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Let's talk about that, shall we? Let's take a quick look outside, I suppose, at the MODOT camera, rather, that's at 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Now, the roadways are clear, but just behind our little KOAM bug, there's still some light snow still right there on the grassy surfaces. Thank you, Tim. What would we do? We were talking about this. What we do? If you back up too far, there are large TVs back here, and I just ran into them. There is some snow still on the grassy surfaces, but the roads are clear. You do want to give yourself a couple extra minutes to clear that frost off your car because you do not want to have to speed to get where you're going, because while the roads are mostly clear, some slick spots are still possible out there. As we go through today, we are looking at pretty much sunny skies, and even though it's super cold to start, we're going to be warmer today, going into the mid-40s out there. We're also going to have gusty south winds pushing about 30 to 35 miles an hour. We're going to talk more about an Arctic blast that's on the way and 2 more potential rounds of snow here in that full forecast in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Joplin police say the woman hit by a vehicle Monday has died of her injuries. The crash happened around 6 p.m. Monday night near West 7th and Gray Avenue. Authorities say a female pedestrian was hit by a dark-colored SUV, which then fled the scene. First responders found her lying in the roadway unresponsive and rushed her to the hospital. Yesterday morning, the victim died due to injuries from the crash. Authorities have not yet released the woman's identity. And authorities charge a man with burglary and theft stemming from an ongoing investigation. The Independence, Kansas Police Department arrested this man, Joe Edward Henderson Jr., for numerous reported thefts captured on surveillance recordings. Following the initial report, Henderson Jr. was located 7 blocks from the victim's residence. Henderson Jr. was taken into custody without incident. And a local nonprofit is giving a child care facility a massive donation pledge. The Mount Carmel Foundation in Pittsburgh is pledging $100,000 to the Family Resource Center. That money will be used to buy and install playground equipment at a new location that the center is building near Via Christi Hospital. But the foundation still has to raise the money. They plan to do that at their 40th annual gala on January 27th. Voters in Grove, Oklahoma yesterday approved a sales tax increase to fund the construction of new police and fire department facilities. It increases the city's sales tax by 0.6%. That money will be used to replace facilities that the departments have been using for over 40 years. And the Biden administration remains hard at work, desperately trying to prevent the Israel-Hamas war from becoming a larger regional conflict. Secretary of State Antony Blinken continues meeting with the leaders overseas, aiming to unite countries across the Middle East in an effort to help bolster plans for what Gaza might look like after the war. Fox News correspondent Lauren Green reports.
With no clear end to the Israel-Hamas war in sight, the Biden administration is butting heads with its closest ally in the Middle East. While the U.S. supports Israel's right to self-defense after Hamas' deadly October incursion that sparked the war, officials are disagreeing over Gaza's future once the fighting ends. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been meeting with leaders across the Middle East this week to try to prevent the war from spreading beyond the Gaza Strip.
Every partner that I met on this trip said that they're ready to support a lasting solution. This can only come through a regional approach that includes a pathway to a Palestinian state.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hasn't expressed optimism over a two-state solution, stating Israel will maintain a role in overseeing security in Gaza for an indefinite period. But as IDF troops say, they are scaling back widespread blasts in northern Gaza and moving towards more targeted attacks. Secretary Blinken says the United Nations will help determine how displaced Palestinians can safely return to their homes.
They must not be pressed to leave Gaza.
Still, some families who have already fled their neighborhoods to avoid getting caught in Israel's crossfire are moving once again as IDF forces advance deeper into central and southern Gaza in pursuit of Hamas. But as the civilian death toll in Gaza keeps climbing, Secretary Blinken says a UN case accusing Israel of genocide is, quote, meritless. Lauren Green, Fox News.
And those are our top stories this half hour. Up next, David Cheek is with us in studio to share more information about the Uplift Film Festival. And later, the American Red Cross has declared a blood shortage across the nation. We'll have the details on how you can help. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here we go. Well, Great Wonders Productions is a nonprofit helping area filmmakers with education, resources, and exposure. David Cheek, Secretary of Great Wonders Productions and board member, is with us this morning to talk about their upcoming Uplift Film Festival. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
All right, so what is this film festival you have going on?
Okay, Great Wonders Production is a nonprofit organization that started actually just about a year ago this month, and we started to help film producers, videographers, people like that in this area. There was nothing for them in this area, and we're giving them a boost and helping them. And we came up with the idea in about last July. The owner of the Route 66 Theater in Webb City has been wanting to do a film festival, and so we're partnering with him, and we're going to have a film festival. It starts tomorrow. And we've got about 50 different films, from short documentaries to full feature films. And we're going to show those at the Route 66 Film Festival. And then we're going to have an awards ceremony at the Cornell Institute or Cornell facility in Joplin on Saturday night. And we have about 10 different awards we're giving out, and we're just really excited about it. A big event. And this is the first year we're doing this, and what we're doing it's called the Uplift Film Festival, and we're trying to uplift the community and also uplift filmmakers in the whole 4-state area. We reached out to all 4 states, not just the local 4-state area, but all of the states, the whole states.
I love that. That's exciting. And so these filmmakers, where are they? Are they college students? Are they professionals? Are they?
It's everything from college students to professionals. Mm-hmm. We've got some college students. We've got some first-time filmmakers. We've got some professionals. We've got some people that have already gotten awards for their films at other festivals.
Wow.
Like I said, we've got some that this is their very first film that they've ever done, and so we've got everything from animation to documentaries and everything of that sort.
And so where can people go to see a list of all the different screenings and purchase tickets?
Okay, they can go to our website at upliftfilmfest.com or to greatwondersproductions.org, either place, but upliftfilmfest.com will get there the quickest.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And
thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more news right after this.
Here in Carthage, USA, give Windows for Less a call today. If you want the best for less, call Windows for Less.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:13 now on this Wednesday morning. Live look from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. The sun is rising on a very cold Wednesday across the area. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, clear roadways, but you can still see snow on some of the grassy surfaces out there, and clearly still some snow on the grassy surfaces on the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh. And there are still some slick spots here and there. So even though the roads are mainly clear, you do want to slow down. Just watch out for some of those occasional slick spots. As we head into the weekend, Friday through Sunday, we have got Couple of things going on. An Arctic blast and then 2 possible rounds of snow. So we've got a medium impact for the wind and the snow heading into the weekend and a high impact for the cold. And we are talking dangerously cold temperatures heading into the weekend and the start of next week. In the short term, we go through today a stray cloud or two, but we're looking mainly at just sunny skies. Temperatures are going to be warmer. It's going to be breezy, but we're going to get some melting done today. And as we go into Thursday, we see the clouds begin to increase, but despite those clouds, temperatures may even be slightly warmer than today for some of us out there. So even more melting taking place. Still going to be a bit on the breezy side, but as we go through Thursday evening into early Friday morning, Arctic blast and some rain. We could see a few scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two out there. But take a look, Friday at 5 a.m., 48 in Cassville, 19 in Yates Center. That is that Arctic blast rolling in, and we're going to see rain transitioning to snow in a rather quick fashion across the area. Now, there's still some dispute on the data. Some of the data says that the snow will wrap up at about noon or so. Some of it, like you're seeing on this future track, shows that it's going to last a little bit longer. Now, we're still not anticipating major accumulations by any means, but with the cold and the snow falling, and it could still lead to travel impacts as we head through Friday and into the upcoming weekend with snow across the area. And then, as mentioned, on top of that, we have the dangerously cold temperatures to talk about. Right now in Joplin, pretty darn chilly, 23, south breeze at 8, making it feel like it is 14 out there. And as we look at temperatures around the region, we had some teens earlier this morning, especially Yates Center, Iola. We're now all in the 20s out there, so it's still cold. And even with a light breeze or a slight breeze, we got wind chills in the teens. We've had wind chills in the single digits out there. So don't get me wrong, it is cold this morning, but it is going to get colder yet. Sunny skies through the morning, breezy. Again, south breeze gusting 30, 35 miles an hour into the low 30s by late morning. Heading into the afternoon, sunny skies. Mid-40s out there, so some melting getting done. We're going to have mostly clear skies for the evening and overnight, and we will fall back into the upper 20s, so cold but seasonable. Then we head into our Saturday. Now, Saturday's still going to be very cold, but we're going to be dry ahead of additional snow chances as we head through the late morning hours on Sunday. Snow begins to overspread the area, and check this out, 11 degrees in Joplin, so definitely cold enough for snow, and this could be another potentially accumulating snowfall as we head through Sunday into very early Monday morning. And yes, that is a -6 for Joplin come Monday morning. Let's take a look at that 7-day. So today, tomorrow, not bad. 23 Friday with the snow, 22 Saturday, temperatures below 0 through the weekend overnight. Snow again on Sunday in the teens. We're going to be in the teens and 20s. And the other issue with the snow is regardless of what we get, it's not going anywhere anytime fast as we stay in the teens and 20s heading into next week with overnight lows in the single digits, maybe even below 0 in some cases across the area. So a lot to keep an eye on over the next several days. We are not done with Mother Nature and winter just yet. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Value Homes in Neosho is having an inventory reduction sale. Our lot
48 hours today at 9 right here on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, recalled cinnamon applesauce pouches with traces of lead may contain other toxic elements now. The Food and Drug Administration reports high levels of chromium were detected in wannabe apple cinnamon fruit puree pouches. The FDA says it is not clear what type of chromium was found in the product, as some are considered essential for nutrients, while others could cause cancer. The fruit puree pouches were recalled in October over elevated levels of lead that sickened at least 64 children. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report that there have been 287 probable or suspected cases of lead poisoning since the issue was first discovered. And parents might want to avoid putting their young children in front of a screen until a certain age. A new study shows that children who use screens before 3 years old could experience developmental delays. Researchers at Drexel University looked at screen habit data from nearly 1,500 children younger than 2. They found 1-year-olds who spent time in front of screens have a 105% higher chance of developing sensory processing issues by the time they are 33 months. The study finds add to a list of concerns linked to toddlers' screen time, which includes sleep problems, autism, and difficulties paying attention. According to the research posted in JAMA Pediatrics, each hour of daily screen time could increase the chance of sensory issues for babies until 2 years old. And a warning from the American Red Cross, the organization that supplies about 40% of the nation's blood, has declared an emergency shortage in supplies. In today's Health Watch, Mandy Gaither has more on where we stand and how you can help.
A state of emergency. The American Red Cross says blood supplies are critically low across the U.S.
We don't particularly like declaring emergencies. We're only doing it because the need is that great.
The organization's medical director says an additional 8,000 blood donations are needed each week in January to keep up with hospital demand.
Without an increase in blood donation over the next couple of weeks, there won't be enough blood in hospital blood banks in order to allow doctors to respond to emergencies.
Low blood supplies impact surgeries and people with chronic diseases like sickle cell and cancer who require blood and platelet transfusions. The Red Cross says the number of people donating blood in the U.S. has fallen by about 40% over the last 2 decades. And winter weather and respiratory viruses could impact donor turnout in the weeks ahead, making the current shortage even worse. While all blood types are urgently needed, the Red Cross says they're especially in need of platelets and blood from Group O donors.
There's no way to get blood from anywhere besides a donor's arm, and that blood that you donate could be used to save the life of somebody who's been in a car accident. It could be used to help save a newborn baby, or it could be used to help get a cancer patient through their treatment.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Anyone interested in donating blood can make an appointment by using the Red Cross Blood Donor app, by visiting redcrossblood.org, or by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS. These are causing major flooding along the East Coast. Details to come.
I'm not coming out until Casey's has thin crust.
Well, they have. Buy one large single topping pizza, get the second half off. Only at Casey's.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:26 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. The Modoc Nation is one of the 20 American Indian and Alaskan Native tribes, which will soon receive a grant to go towards language preservation. The Indian Affairs Office of Indian Economic Development announced that it has awarded almost $6 million to revitalize native languages that are at risk of disappearing due to lack of active users. The program will focus on projects to support a tribal community approach. And drivers on Zora and Joplin are advised to look for a detour starting today. Due to a water leak, Zora Avenue will be reduced to 1 lane with flaggers near Myrtle Road, just east of Rangeline Road. The closure is anticipated to begin after the morning's peak traffic. The duration of the closure will depend on the severity of the water leak, which will not be known until the line is excavated. And the Kansas Department of Health and Environment has just appointed a new chief medical officer. KDHE names Dr. Derek Totten to the top spot. Dr. Totten, a lifelong Kansan, has been at Citizens Health in Colby, Kansas since 2016, practicing full-scope family medicine, including obstetrics, and serving as the medical director for the Rural Health Clinic. And the McDonald County Sheriff's Office wants to warn people about an ongoing scam. According to the Sheriff's Office, subjects are called from this phone number, 888-675-2086, advising the person that they are eligible to receive money. The caller tries to convince the person to allow them to send money, then ask for personal information along with bank account information so they can make the deposit. Authorities say never share your personal or bank information and notify law enforcement about any calls of this nature.
And we've got a relatively cold start out there across the area, but it looks nice. Our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin, we've got those the sunrise out there. Roads are relatively clear, but take a look. You can see some wetness out there. So that's why we're advising you just to slow down. Watch out for some occasional slick spots. The roads may look clear, but black ice could still be a concern. We're looking great as folks get their day underway from MoDOT Camera 20th and Rangeline. Skywatch Storm Tracker also clear. Clouds around us, but not immediately over us, and we are looking at a pretty sunny day today out there. We're keeping an eye on 2 potential rounds of snow Friday and then again on Sunday, and an Arctic blast bringing dangerously cold temperatures as we head into the weekend. And of course, as you get your day started, give yourself a couple extra minutes to scrape some frost off your cars. It is quite frosty out there. 23 in Joplin, 23 in Pittsburgh right now. As we go through today, we're going to get some melting done as we go into the mid-40s out there. Winds out of the south gusting upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour. We'll have another full look at your forecast and that big cool down and those snow chances here in a few more minutes.
All right, and a deadly winter storm brings heavy rain and strong winds to parts of the U.S. Fox's Teresa Priola is in New Jersey and spoke with some residents about how they're coping with the storm.
Unrelenting rains and winds hammering Lodi, New Jersey as residents brace for the worst of this latest round of bad weather.
Everything here on the street level is going to be flooded, probably a couple of feet of water if everything comes as big as they say, I'm expecting a couple of feet of water.
Here on Stanley Street, these homes sit about 100 feet from the Passaic River, a point they don't need to be reminded of. They feel it every time a heavy rain comes.
When it's raining, always flooding, always.
The storm 3 weeks ago brought feet of water, the river overflowing its banks, sparing no one and nothing in its path.
The plumbers are actually still working here in my house, and it feels like it's never ending. So I've been here for 4 years, and this is already potentially like the 5th time that it's going to flood, and it just never ends.
A similar story in Patterson. DPW crews are blocking streets to prevent cars from getting trapped in rising waters, all while residents cannot believe the rains have come again.
No sooner than you get over what's going on, here it goes again, And right now we're trying to find a place to go, but how can you save money with the rent so high too, to find somewhere else to go?
Wanda Jackson had her husband evacuated today. He's on dialysis, and in the last storm, the water came up so fast they almost couldn't get him out.
I'm constantly in the window looking, you can't. It's scary, it's really scary, it got so high.
Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Several international students got their first taste of snow yesterday. Fernanda Silva shares their experience.
Hi, I'm Dow Quick, and I'm inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me July.
Try Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites for fast and gentle constipation relief in as little as 30 minutes. Making your good morning even better with Dulcolax.
The winter weather can be an exciting time for international students in the area. Some Pitt State students are having the chance to see snow for the very first time this week. Phone calls to their families, videos, and pictures on their social media are just some of the fun that they're having. KOAM's Fernanda Silva spoke to the students.
Bom dia, família!
The excited good morning video PSU Brazilian student Marina Biasu sent to her family had one reason: the snow.
Olha, gente, que legal! I remember I woke up and I looked in the window and it was snowing.
Marina is one of many international students who had the chance to see snow for the first time. Gabi Alvarez from Paraguay is also one of them.
The feeling to touch the snow is really different than we thought. We thought like it was like soft, and it's not like that. It's more like a water.
And just like Marina, others also sent videos and pictures to their family and friends back home.
I called my parents, mainly my mom, because she told me, Thiago, the first time you see snow, please call me. I'm gonna show everyone that, and I show everyone in my home.
There are still some snow-related activities that the international students at PSU were still not able to enjoy. And a snowball fight, it's one of them.
I want to play with snow. I can build some snowmans and play with my friends, like hitting them and throwing balls at them, throwing snowballs at them.
While getting used to the cold temperatures,
I don't think I would go out if I didn't need it to, because it was cold.
The international students are making the most of it.
We internationals see in a different way. We always like in the good side. I'm so excited for snow, and I feel Americans be like, oh, it's snowing again. They don't appreciate how beautiful it is. They always like, every person I talk to, they all like, I hate snow. We have to clean. We have to do this with our cars. I feel they don't know. They don't like, experience that much.
In Pittsburgh, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
A fun fact, countries like Brazil and Paraguay, where the students we spoke to are from, are enjoying some summer days right now. But here, the international students are now just hoping for some more snow. Coming up, the Consumer Electric Show is in full swing in Vegas. We'll show you some of the new tech ideas that will be coming our way. And Chris will give us our midweek forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's New Year's guests receive $100 free Ashley Cash. The New Year's sale ends soon, only at Ashley.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, coming up on 7:38 on this Wednesday morning, and we are watching more winter weather on the way and bitterly or just plain old dangerously cold temperatures as we head into the weekend. So Friday through Sunday, medium impact from wind and snow and a high impact from those dangerously cold temperatures. Let's talk about the next about 72 hours here. Today, a stray cloud or two is possible. We are otherwise looking at sunny skies and temperatures a bit warmer out there as well. So we're going to get some melting done today as we go into the mid-40s across the area. Cold, but seasonably cold tonight. We're going to fall back into the upper 20s. Clouds will increase into our Thursday. However, we'll still be even warmer for some of us tomorrow than what will be today. So whatever doesn't melt today, very likely finish up by tomorrow. Now, by tomorrow evening and overnight, a few scattered showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms are going to roll through. And again, it's not really quite the setup for severe weather, but don't be surprised if you hear some thunder. Then Friday, 5 a.m., take a look at this, 48 Cassville at 5 a.m., 19 Yates Center, and snow. Now, the snow begins to build in, and with these temperatures, I'll be honest, I think the future track's just trying to catch up here. This will very likely be snow as well. We're looking at snow overspreading the area through Friday morning. Now, some models indicate the snow could wrap up by about noon, 1 o'clock. Others, like this one, seem to be under the impression that the snow will last through the evening hours on our Friday. Regardless, though, with the cold temperatures and just snow in general, we are looking at some travel impacts as we head through Friday and into this upcoming weekend. Then we're going to start to see those bitterly cold temperatures. Quick look outside. Sunrise looks great. 23 in Joplin. Feels like 14 though, with a south breeze at 8. Temperatures around the region. Most of us, we're all holding into the 20s out there. We're starting to see some slightly warmer temperatures, but most of us low to mid 20s. Wind chill values though still hanging out in the teens for the majority of the area as well. So make sure you bundle up this morning as you get your day underway. Sunny skies, winds will start gusting out of the south at about 30-35 miles an hour heading into the late morning and afternoon. Low 30s by late morning. Highs today, again, mid-40s, mostly sunny skies across the area. Heading into tonight, mostly clear skies, cold, but seasonably cold as we go back into the upper 20s. Then we go into Saturday. Saturday is going to be bitterly cold as well, but we're going to remain dry. And then by late morning Sunday, we're looking at another round of snow rolling into the area and even colder temperatures across the region as well. And Sunday snow could last through most of the day as well across the area. And yeah, take a look at this, -6 by 5 a.m. on Monday morning. It is going to get downright cold. So here's what we're looking at. Well, those evening showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two tomorrow, otherwise warm initially. 20s on Friday and Saturday, snow Friday. We go into Sunday, more snow possible. Look at these lows heading into the weekend, down below 0. And then any snow we get, whether it's significant accumulations or even just a couple of inches, isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. As we head into the second half of next week, staying cold, we're going to hang out in the teens and 20s, lows in the teens and single digits, and even again for some of us, below 0 out there. That's a quick check of your forecast. Now here's Caitlin with Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Home and auto insurance prices are growing, and for some Americans, they're finding it hard to find a plan. A Wall Street Journal report says insurers are asking for higher premiums from customers. New York, New Jersey, and California are allowing for all states to increase their auto insurance, ranging by an average of 15 to 30%. The report says a rise in damages from storms, wildfires, and other natural disasters cost insurance companies like Allstate billions of dollars last year. The report says increased prices for repairs and replacements because of inflation have also contributed to a loss in profits. The report adds some people in risk-prone areas are also dealing with companies who will not renew their insurance policies. And more Americans are struggling to pay their rent. A new survey by personal finance company Credit Karma shows nearly 24% of renters say they are dealing with rent affordability issues. The survey shows 30% of millennial renters say they have a difficult time paying their rent, while 27% of Gen Z participants say they feel the same. More than 1,200 people took part in the survey. Credit Karma says more than 50% of Americans allocate a majority of their income towards costs for housing. In a separate report, data from Redfin shows the average asking rent in December was $1,964. And lawmakers are proposing $7 billion in additional funding to extend an internet discount program for low-income households. The Affordable Connectivity Program is set to run out of the funding by the end of April. That would mean abrupt price hikes for the tens of millions of people who benefit from the program. The ACP provides monthly $30 discounts on internet service for low-income households and up to $75 for eligible households on tribal lands. Households also qualify if any member of the home participates in another federal aid program like Medicaid or school lunch programs. The $7 billion legislation is expected Wednesday in both the House and Senate. It represents $1 billion more than the White House proposed to Congress last year. And Sin City is getting a high-tech makeover as inventors showcase their latest robotic developments at this year's CES event. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look at the gadgets you don't want to miss.
It's a dream come true for tech lovers nationwide. As tens of thousands flood Las Vegas this week for CES 2024, formerly known as the Consumer Electronics Show.
The problem is not being able to see everything here. Every year I come, I only see 20%, and I'm here for the entire time.
And many of the inventions on display are armed with powerful artificial intelligence, like this dashboard on the new concept electric vehicle from Mercedes-Benz. The auto company also unveiling its new virtual assistant that can speak in different emotions and ask the driver questions to provide the best responses to their commands.
It's there to create a more empathic and intuitive way to communicate with your vehicle.
On the other hand, if your home needs an AI upgrade, Samsung is showing off the latest version of its Ball-E robot, roughly the size of a soccer ball. The bot can follow you around your home and interact with your other devices, like turning on and off the lights. It also comes with a built-in projector for meetings, fitness classes, and movie nights.
Prepare yourself for something very strange.
And speaking of movie nights, Netflix is making waves at CES, giving attendees a chance to see the trailer for the upcoming sci-fi series called Three Body Problem. The streaming company showcasing the footage on gaming headsets, similar to ones used in the show, which comes out in March. And it's from the producers behind Game of Thrones.
To do something that felt radically different was both intimidating and also appealing.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
And that's our Consumer Watch for this morning. Now let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
You gonna have a big birthday party?
Let's ball out, baby! This will bring together two of the best spring leagues we've ever seen.
The United Football League has arrived.
Here we go.
Music from the Sonic the Hedgehog video games takes center stage in a new concert world tour.
Rick Damagello reports.
The musical history of Sonic the Hedgehog comes to life during performances of the Sonic Symphony World Tour. The concert combines orchestral and rock band performances synced with video elements from the history of the Sonic game franchise.
Compared to like a typical orchestral concert, there's a lot more tech involved because we have like click track to sync with the video and also the band elements. You have a lot more things to manage. And also, like, you have to write the orchestral scores in a particular way so that it sounds great with the band combined.
The head of MGP Live, the production company behind the tour, knows just how popular the Blue Hedgehog is among his fans.
That's the reason that I'm working hard to do as many shows as possible and to make happy fans that enjoy the show, because I've seen the reaction.
Two of the composers of Sonic's musical motifs have appeared at select shows on the tour and feel the character's positivity is part of his popularity.
I have been a Sonic composer for a long time, like from the 90s. This is a huge chance to spread our music with new format, new arrangement.
The feel of Sonic and the positivity that surrounds Sonic and all of his friends is probably the element that people are most drawn to.
Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
The Sonic Symphony World Tour is scheduled to have concerts across the U.S. and Canada this year, with stops including Kansas City, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Toronto, and Minneapolis.
And we were just talking about this. You were saying this seems kind of odd, but in all honesty, video game music and stuff like that, it's not unusual for it to be performed outside of a video game.
First for me.
Well, for us game nerds, now granted, yes. I'm a retro game nerd, don't get me wrong. I don't know anything about new games, but I do know that it is not uncommon. In fact, people actually take time online to orchestrate the old like Super Nintendo and Nintendo games and make them sound actually pretty phenomenal.
All right, did you say so, Chris?
I'm telling you, it's not bad at all. What is kind of bad is how cold it's going to get. Let's take a quick look outside. This is our camera at 7th and Range Line. This is the sunrise, and this is snow on the ground still from yesterday's snow across the area. However, take a good look at it, because by this afternoon, for most of us, it will be gone. Our camera, downtown Joplin, Cornell Complex, great start to the day, and that's what we're talking about, a few passing clouds. You can almost barely see them, but there's a couple right there. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. Again, roadways are mainly clear, but there are still patchy slick spots here and there, so you do want to watch out for the potential for black ice here and there. Don't go racing around just because the road looks clear. Doesn't always mean that it is. Skywatch Storm Tracker, it is clear, save a couple of stray clouds, and that's how our Wednesday is going to be. Heading into Friday through Sunday, we have 2 potential rounds of snow, and we have bitterly cold, dangerously cold temperatures on the way, so medium impact from that snow and wind, high impact from the cold. And this morning, do make sure you give yourself a couple extra minutes to scrape that frost off of your windshield, because it's on there kind of thick this morning. I mean, it certainly was when I woke up, but it might be clearing a little bit now. Probably not, though. 23 in Joplin, 23 in Pittsburgh. And as we get our day underway, we have south winds gusting 30 to 35 miles an hour. Mostly sunny skies and temperatures making it into the mid-40s today. We're even going to be warmer tomorrow ahead of another big Arctic blast, plus 2 more rounds of snow in our future. We'll talk about that forecast and have the news you need to know right after this.
Cheddar's burgers are amazing, and on Wednesdays, choose almost any burger.
The Alba, Missouri native earned many medals during his 20 years of service, including the Air Force Commendation Medal and Good Conduct Medal. We are proud to salute Dan Pinola, a 4-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Joplin police say the woman hit by a vehicle Monday has died of her injuries. The crash happened around 6 p.m. Monday night near West 7th and Gray Avenue. Authorities say a female pedestrian was hit by a dark-colored SUV, which then fled the scene. First responders found her lying in the roadway unresponsive and rushed her to the hospital. Yesterday morning, the victim died due to injuries from the crash. Authorities have not yet released the woman's identity. And authorities charge a man with burglary and theft stemming from an ongoing investigation. Independence, Kansas Police Department arrested this man, Joe Edward Henderson Jr., for numerous reports of thefts captured on surveillance recordings. Following the initial report, Henderson Jr. was located 7 blocks from the victim's residence. Henderson Jr. was taken into custody without incident. And voters in Grove, Oklahoma yesterday approved a sales tax increase to fund the construction of new police and fire department facilities. It increases the city's sales tax by 0.6% That money will be used to replace facilities the departments have been in for 40 years.
And we've got ourselves a warmer day out there, mid-40s, mostly sunny skies, southerly winds gusting upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour. Mostly clear, cold, but seasonable tonight as we fall back into the upper 20s. And then we have that Arctic blast moving in late Thursday into early Friday. So Thursday, low 50s out there. And then we'll see rain turning to snow on our Friday, leading to some travel impacts. We're going to get into the temperature range below zero for overnight lows heading into the weekend, with highs only in the teens, and another potential round of snow as we head into our Sunday. And any snow we get, it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon as we stay in the teens and 20s next week, with overnight lows in the single digits, maybe even some more below zero readings out there.
Wow, all right. We will get ready for that.
Indeed.
Well, with average winter temperatures of -4 degrees, Harbin in northeastern China is a snow and ice sculptor's dream.
Known as the City of Ice, Harbin is a natural incubator for winter art with its prolonged winter season. Every year, sculptors from all over the world gather here to showcase a vast array of winter artwork made of ice and snow as part of Harbin's Ice and Snow Festival.
Running alongside the festival is the Harbin International Ice and Snow Sculpture Competition, featuring 100 sculptors from 12 countries. They work across 4 days to create magical snow sculptures with simple tools and their own hands.
Now, the Harbin Snow and Ice Festival has been instrumental in Harbin's emergence as one of China's most popular winter tourism destinations. In the past 3 years, the festival has been forced to curtail many events due to the fears that it could help spread COVID-19. This year, it makes a full comeback with a record number of visitors. And we may not get that much snow, but it is going to certainly feel like you're in Harbin as we head into this weekend. So
all right,
do be prepared for that. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning.
And we'll see you right back here today at noon.